Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. So glad you could make it. I hope you are all doing very, very well. Now, Sagittarius, I took the liberty of tapping into your energy and laying out your spread. We're going to be taking a look at what messages need to come through for you, Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius, this reading is going to be for all Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter sign placements. Sagittarius, I'm using the horseshoe spread. And let's get into your messages. First, Sagittarius, tapping into your energy. I feel like you are in a space of retrospection or introspection. You may be feeling isolated, closed in, boxed in, because you are fire energy. You need the sun. So try to get some sunlight. Maybe step outside into the sun for a few minutes, or go someplace where some sun can beam on you. But I do feel that you're in that hermit energy where there's some soul searching happening as well. I do feel that you're focused on persevering, that you're on guard about some things. You may even feel defensive at this time. But yeah, there's like this, I also feel that you need to be mindful of your energy, okay? To be mindful to recharge your batteries as much as you can and get your rest. But I also feel like you are like on your grind on solutions for shit. You want solutions, you're looking for solutions, right? So what you're focused on, Sagittarius, is you do have transformation. This is a 27 breaking down to a 9. And there's that hermit energy with that 9 number there, where you're in contemplation, you're deliberating on things, trying to gain insight, trying to evaluate and reevaluate things. This is you focusing on, the solutions, the answers. Some of you may be waiting for something. I also feel that some of you either have something very dear and close to your chest that you're dealing with, or that's significant or important to you, and there are some of you who I just feel like, and you take a look at her, that it's almost as if she's holding a child. So some of you may have newborns, or very small child or children that you are looking after, or your family has increased, has grown. There's a new birth, and so this transformation is you undergoing change. You undergoing change within yourself, change within your home, change within your structure, your dynamic, change going on around you. With it being a 27 breaking down to a 9, for me being the hermit energy, this is you analyzing, okay, searching for enlightenment, seeking answers, but also this is you isolating yourself, but also feeling isolated at this time. I also see here there's like this horse coming in, and so you may be trying to gallop along with the things going on in your world and trying to step over any difficulties or issues that you may see coming up. I also feel like there's a need for you to be mindful of how fast you move about things. This is a time that there's more of a need to have power than there is a need to be quick. Yeah, and it's coming out just like that. Also, with all this red, there's a focus on your stability. This is the root chakra. There's a focus on your stability, your security. You may have anxiety about that. You may have been feeling ungrounded, or you're trying to get grounded as far as that is concerned. You're focused on your survival, okay? Focus on maintaining, okay? And also with all of this yellow here, there's a focus on the solar plexus. And like I said, what's coming through again is about you having that personal power, that inner strength, needing to be empowered, to be mindful, to focus on how you can always be empowered so that you can have that will and that drive and that perseverance, because you may be very tired and may even feel wounded right now. You may be dealing with a lot of stress. You may be having battles with your self-esteem at this time. But just know, Sagittarius, that you're fire. You're passionate. You're driven. You're remarkable. Okay? Your energy may be a little low, but your desires, your interests are great. And your ability to achieve and to push in and push on and move forward, you are doing, you will continue to do, okay? Even if you have to gallop along and take your time while you do it. I also feel with transformation there, it's also talking about not only are you dealing with change, but the kind of change where things won't be the same as it was. This is change where things are turning into something else and different. And that's a lot to deal with as well, because that means there's ending to a way of things, because the new thing is coming in that's causing that change, that transformation to happen. And so it may feel unexpected. It may be a need for the death of the ego. It may even feel a little involuntary, the change that you're experiencing, or the change may feel long and drawn the fuck out for you. But you are doing all you can to have a mature approach to all of this, or there's a need to, okay? And so there's a need to ground your emotions and be careful not to dive too deep, or if you find yourself in the deep depths of your emotions, that you pull yourself out of that, because there's a need for you to stay focused. And so that brings me to the next card that came out. You have withdraw for a time, gather your thoughts. Okay? Withdraw for a time and gather your thoughts. You may be feeling really old, or like just slowed down, right? You may feel like you just aged many years in a short period of time. Or you feel like your age is catching up with you, with your circumstances all around you. I feel that you have a lot of things going on. You have people that depend and rely on you, that you're responsible for and that you're taking care of. And so you have a lot on your plate. But I do feel that you're trying to continue to stand in your truth, to speak up, but to make sure that you maintain the stability and the security that is needed for you and those that you are caring for. Some of you may have 4 children, or some of you may have, just have several people that you're responsible for, and it's a lot. And so you may feel like, that this is a time where you may be feeling real serious, so there's not much playtime, that there's a lot of hard work involved. If things are all work and no play as a result. But this is you needing to take the time to gather your thoughts and to stay keeping perspective with what you are doing or going through, so that you can resolve problems, or not going to to stay away from depression, right? Or feeling low, And be mindful that when your energy is low, that can cause depression as well. So be mindful of that, because see, there's not much light around, right? Because you may be indoors a lot or all the time, and this is the things that's just the shit that's happening you're not fucking used to, and you have to get used to it, or you have to adapt, right? Because of the transformations that are happening. So, with that said, let's get into your reading, Sagittarius. Your overall energy that's surrounding you is you do have the Six of Swords in the upright with the Ace of Wands in reverse. So, this is some of you, there's a focus on traveling, but I think that you think better of it because you have Two of Swords as the clarifier to the Six of Swords and the Ace of Wands. So, there's a decision that's gnawing at you, or where you may feel at a stalemate regarding something that you have an intention towards doing, or you may be looking to initiate or take the lead with something or act upon. And the potential of you doing that, you may be, something may be gnawing you in the back of your mind about this choice. And as it has to do with travel, I do feel that some of you decide to, that your thoughts about travel, you're going to postpone, or you think better of it, so to speak, and you make the decision perhaps to move to calmer waters to get peace of mind, or wait until you have more peace of mind about traveling. And so some of you are not going to travel. Some of you are deciding whether or not to travel. And so it's delayed here, this Ace of Wands, in terms of what action you will take, because you're in two minds about something, whether you're going to go one way or another. But also this can be regarding just plans in general, that you're looking to transition and have peace of mind with your plans or with the way things are transitioning, but you're in two minds about things. So there is something that you are holding off on until you get clear, or there's something that you held off on and you're just going to move away from it altogether. But it's around a decision that is needing to be made, or that you come to about it. And so you need to think about and consider, what are the thoughts that are occurring in the back of your mind about this, so that you can get clear on the potential to act upon something or not. Either way, you want to transition whether you do this or whether you don't. And that is the focus. Now, your overall energy and attitude here, Sagittarius, is you do have the Seven of Cups. It is in reverse with the Lovers in reverse. So for some of you, there's a focus on a Gemini, or a Gemini is involved here. It's clarified by this Ace of Swords. So I feel that as your overall energy and attitude towards these energies here, Sagittarius, this is you coming out of confusion, clearing the fog or the air around something where there's some sort of connection you are looking at or dealing with, or there's some sort of contract or agreement that you're coming out of for some of you, because you get the communication that comes in that allows for whatever contract that you agreed to, or with the focus on a relationship where there is a connection here where you wanted to maintain harmony or be of support. This is, that clarity or that truth coming in that allows you to come out of that situation. It allows you to break free from it, to cut it out. This could be a choice, and this may have to do with a family member or family, or just someone close that you're close to, or you may be you're being given a pass with trying to fulfill the wishful thinking around a matter concerning someone you care about, and you having that communication where you give that decision, but that there's an understanding that it's not necessary, or the communication is where um, you don't have to focus on the options or needing to clear the air about this, because someone is clearing the air with you, or you just are, it's like you're absolved of something that there may have been a little confusion around, or there may have been an illusion here that the ability to commit may not have been as clear cut. Now, in the recent past, you do have this King of Swords and the Six of Pentacles. Yeah. So I feel that in the recent past, you made a very important decision, right? Where you had to detach from your emotions. You may have been very calculating with this in this regard. It's clarified also with this Queen of Pentacles. So you had to make some very important decisions, be very calculating, be intelligent, detached from your emotions, with what it is that you needed to execute, where you may have looked to have some professionalism towards, or you may have been in a situation where it felt rigid to be in or deal with. You could have been dealing with a professional, or with this King of Swords energy, it's like, I feel like this is about some sort of intervention. Some sort of intervention, trying to figure out what direction, trying to come up with a verdict on a matter that you needed to see balance with, in a give and take exchange, something that you were nurturing, you were working on, you were caring for, and that would bring you some sort of comfort or stability here. It could have been to do with money. This also could be seeing the doctor or trying to make plans to establish a doctor's appointment for some of you in the recent past, to have an assessment done on your health, or for on your health or the health of others in your household with family. I also feel with this King of Swords and the Six of Pentacles, there are important decisions that happen, or certain things are able to be severed or cut away or executed, that allows for some balance to come in, or you strategize in the recent past about how to ensure or bring more balance into your circumstances, and with regard to your resources and your money, or the things that are of value to you. And so at present, you do have this Ace of Cups in reverse and the Knight of Cups in reverse. Both are in reverse, and it's being clarified by this Page of Wands. So I do feel that present, with regard to an opportunity or offer, I feel that an opportunity or offer that you possibly may have extended, it might have been something in the recent past where you made a calculated decision to give to someone, to be of nurture and support and care. That at present, as it has to do with that loving offer or opportunity, I feel that the offer or opportunity is being turned down, because with the Knight of Cups in reverse, I feel that it is seen as whatever this offer or opportunity, or even to do with a creative project perhaps, that something about it was unrealistic, or something about the offer was lacking, either for you or for who else it involves. I say that because with the Page of Wands, I feel that some news comes in to take this situation in a new direction, with an offer or opportunity that may have been previously accepted through an exchange, to be able to nurture or care for something, or as it has to do with a creative project. News comes in about a new action that's taking place that takes it in a new direction, and it's being said or communicated or acted upon. And hey, on second thought, um, after reviewing that, declining from that because it's not realistic, or I just feel like there's love being shown in both directions. The love you show towards extending the opportunity or looking to receive the opportunity, but also with who you're dealing with, showing love as well, where um, there's a decision to not move on this, not to advance on this, not to create this, but to go another way instead, because it would be best for all involved. But love is involved in this, and this is perhaps a dynamic that has occurred between um, family or loved ones or someone significant. Now, in the future, you do have this Ten of Wands and the Five of Swords. They're both in the upright, and it is clarified by the Queen of Cups. So I feel that in the future, Sagittarius, you find yourself burdened with a lot of responsibilities that's causing you some sort of um, conflict, or there is some cost to you here to carry, because there's a lot of things on your plate that you need to nurture and take care of with this Queen of Cups energy. And so you are yeah, there's a conflict with being able to carry all this responsibilities, because you don't exactly see an end to the burden that you're dealing with. But I do feel that you are able to manage, if not able to relieve yourself of all your burdens, because you do confront it. Um, you do focus on nurturing and taking care of it. This may require you needing to change your mind, or this is you strategizing how to come at this so that you can have everything taken care of here. But this is, you're overwhelmed, but you are looking to get to the finish line here, and you will, because you're going to confront this. Now, your concern is you have the Knight of Swords and the Nine of Swords. The Knight of Swords is upright and the Nine of Swords is in reverse, and it's clarified by the Six of Swords here, which we see repeating again. So Six of Swords is very significant in that there's a need for you to be mindful to make sure you transition things as smoothly as possible, but also um, be mindful that any conflicts that you find yourself in, to see how you can transition from any conflicts you find yourself in, or overwhelmed by, or burdened by, and clear your mind and get to a state where your mind can be at peace, or you can get the clarity, or there may be a need to communicate. But this Knight of Swords, there's a concern with decisive action, okay, and whether or not that decisive action um, helps you to be able to move away from the things that you have a lot of concerns, fears, or doubts around, okay, that you're experiencing a lot of anxiety with, that you want to be able to transition and move away from, and no longer be in conflict about. Again, this may be around the things that you are nurturing or taking care of, that you have a lot of responsibilities on your plate, and how you go about handling them, or the number in which the matters that you are addressing or having to deal with or take up is difficult for you. Okay, it may cause you to feel conflicted at times. I mean, this is a lot to have to be able to take care of yourself and others, right? Or take care of many things all at once. That can be very heavy and weighing on you. And so there's a need to focus on how you can transform your situation, even though you're undergoing and in these changes that have already begun and ensue. So this is about finding ways to work smarter and not harder. Okay? Now, your challenge here is you do have the King of Pentacles with strength, and they're both in the upright. Now, there can be a focus on a Leo, or a Leo could be involved, but there may be a challenge of being able to manage things successfully, and in a very practical and grounded and mindful way, and be strong and have resilience, and be move with quiet strength, but be reserved to having self restraint and power and energy here. Because with this King of Swords here, that's showing up again, it's very important that you detach from your emotions, because your feelings could be getting in the way of you being able to um, be practical and grounded and successful with what you need to create and see done. Or that you are, there's also the challenge of perhaps taking, a calculated risk, and there may be a need to show some restraint towards that, um, because there may be a need to get more information, or it's a very important decision that can make or break. I feel that it's very important to communicate where you need to receive help. I think there's also a challenge with being able to delegate tasks, because you may be someone that has trouble with handing things over to others. You may have a lot of hands on here, or you just are very specific in how you want things to be executed and done. There also may be a challenge with managing money and balancing that properly, and making the right choices that are important choices here with this King of Swords energy. So you want to be mindful of that. I feel there's a need to tell you to be patient with yourself. There's a need for you to be understanding, but also you could be dealing with someone who's embodying this King of Pentacles energy, that may be a little inflexible or rigid, or just really stern, and you perhaps just want to make sure there's challenges with managing things, or with how this person is managing things, because you need them to be resilient. You need them to do things in a way that count and that will make a difference, and bring transformation to the circumstances, that allow you to transition and away from the difficulties, and move to calmer waters, and give you more peace of mind. Now, for some of you, there may be a need to turn to someone that's a professional for advice here, but also there's a need to be mindful that, as it comes to any calculated risk, make sure that you don't get carried away. Make sure that you have a very good sense and understanding of what is being done and what needs to be done, so that you can come at it from a very practical and mindful and grounded way, with what needs to be executed, or perhaps severed, or there's just a need to be smart about things. And so your likely outcome here is you do have this Two of Swords in reverse with the Devil upright. Now, there may be a Capricorn that's involved or focus, and it's clarified with the Magician. So I feel that in the end, you make decisions, or you're looking to make decisions to be empowered, to take control, um, to deal with your obligations. With the Magician here, this is you making sure you have all the tools you need to create what you want, to influence your circumstances, to allow you to be empowered. With the Magician here, there's just a need to be mindful about how and the ways to adapt, to be cunning but not deceitful, to focus on how to dominate in a situation and not be burdened, and to address any toxicity. I also feel too that it is the Two of Swords and the Devil is an outcome. You come out of a stalemate around a decision where you're finally able to make one. You have the Two of Swords here twice. Decision making is key. So is the Six of Swords. You have the Six of Swords twice. That's key. And the King of Swords is key. That's here twice as well. So there's a need to be practical and grounded. And especially if you're trying to have the Midas touch, that whatever it is that you create, you're able to manifest and have success in doing so. There may be a need to be mindful about what creative opportunities or projects or offers that may need to be rejected because it's more fantasy than something realistic at this time. And there may be a need to go in a new direction. For some of you, there's a focus on trying to get some care with a child, where you're trying to receive some sort of opportunity. Perhaps you're trying to schedule an appointment and there's issues around that, where what's being offered or presented doesn't work for you. And so you're trying to see how you can survey the situation and go in a new direction. But as an outcome, I do feel if you are in a stalemate about anything, you come out of that stalemate. If you are in two minds about something, you do make the decision. So be mindful to not entertain fear or anger. I do feel that you make decisions about how you're going to address your obligations. Because the devil here, you may be trying to, or there may be a need to be focused on living in a more balanced way, a more balanced lifestyle. And this is also, for some of you, you're making a decision about something you desire to manifest. And so what was on hold, or you did not take up, or you didn't initiate, you perhaps are in a position where you're ready to manifest this. Because whatever transitions that need to happen around this or in you occur. Just know that you do have you have a lot of sixes here. The Six of Swords, the Lovers, the Devil reduces to a 6. It's a 15 reducing to a 6 here. You have the Six of Pentacles. So I do feel the need to point out that with sixes, there's a focus on perhaps needing to have flexibility. There's a need to focus on collaborating, focus on your resources. There may be a need to draw on experience that you may be able to pull from, or to draw on someone else's experience. This is about unity, choice, and duality here, how something can go one way or another depending on how you debate and deal with it. This is also about you being motivated and coming up with the opportunities, or waiting for opportunities to present themselves. This is about you focusing on what you can receive, or what are the desires and prioritizing accordingly in a way that allows you to be able to see the transformation in your world that you need, or hold up under the transformations that are occurring. This is about focusing on growth through you assessing and reassessing things. And this is about you having comfort and harmony in your relationships, in your circumstances, in your situation, that give you peace and give you that sense of stability. This is about being mindful not to make any poor choices, and be considerate about your partnerships and making sure your partnerships are considerate of you. There may be a need to give the benefit of the doubt, or you may need someone to give you the benefit of the doubt in a situation. You may be addressing some unhappiness with someone or a situation, or there is a need to shore up your connection, or, end a conflict or avoid it. And this is about being able to be supportive to each other or with who you are connecting with. Overcoming obstacles, having that compassion, and where generosity needs to happen, do so, but also move forward in assurance so that you're not conflicted, even if burdened and with a lot of responsibilities on your plate. So this would then ask for you to go into deep introspection and analyze what needs to happen, or where you may need to research, or how you go about working on and conducting yourself in your connections and with the things that you are focused on, so that you can get those solutions that you need, and perhaps invoke more play and free spiritness than all work and no play, and everything is hard work, because you're trying to lay foundations and keep them firm. So let's take a look at what some additional guidance can be for you, Sagittarius. Okay, yes, let's do it. Spirit, what is some additional guidance for Sagittarius? But I do see money as a focus, but there's a lot of sword energy. So there's a lot of being in your head, making decisions, communicating or needing to communicate. There's cup energy here. So be mindful of your feelings, okay? Make sure you're practicing self-love too, okay? And so let's see what some guidance here is for you. What is some guidance, please, for Sagittarius? Thank you. Follow your dreams. Point out one special dream or ambition that you vacillated about or postponed. What has motivated you to put positive actions on hold? Your goal is to determine whether your excuse is real, and if not, identify the real reason you've delayed so that you can do something about it. Okay? Follow your dreams. And at the bottom, there's a need to do less. Do less. You're doing too much, Sagittarius. Assess your level of doing for others or doing it all. Examine whether you overextend yourself to the point that you become unnecessarily exhausted. Why is that? Is your health worth it? It should be, because your goal here is to confront your core reasons for risking your health unnecessarily and change that shit. Thank you for watching, Sagittarius. Take care. Bye.